Welcome, everyone, to the 2023 Patent Pathways session. We are very excited about today's session and a very pleasant good evening to everyone. So I am Liana Marshall, and I've been in the patent field for over 12 years, over 3 of which I've been a patent data analyst here at Harity & Harity. I have the distinct pleasure of being the chair of the Patent Pathways program, as well as being a member of the Patent Advisory Board. I always describe this program as like my dream program, not only because I would have loved to have had this program when I was coming up, but also because the program addresses issues that are near and dear to my heart. So, with that said, as a woman of color, I have a master's degree in electrical engineering and a PhD in biomedical engineering. And I knew that I wanted to apply my engineering skill sets in a different way. And to be able to have an instrumental role, not just in executing this program, but diversifying the patent bar has been very, very rewarding. So for today's agenda, we are dividing it into 2 sections. So the first section is somewhat like, I think of it as why Patent Pathways. So we'll give a little bit of a background on the program and how the program came into being. And then the second section will be more of an orientation. So at this time, I would like to introduce Audrey. And Audrey Ogachek, she's a patent attorney at Lowenstein Sandler and in Palo Alto, and she has degrees in chemical engineering and computer science and works with high-tech companies to develop and manage their patent portfolios. Audrey chooses to support Patent Pathways because she is passionate about supporting diverse women that are entering the profession. And she describes that she has gotten to where she is with the help of multiple diverse women and deems it her duty to pay it forward. So Audrey is going to take us through an icebreaker with some patent trivia.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Anna, for that wonderful introduction. I'm so excited to see all of you here. Good evening, good afternoon from wherever you're calling in from. And like Ayana said, we're gonna have some fun with some patent trivia and hopefully learn something. So just bear with me for one moment while I get my presentation ready to go. We're gonna use the website Menti. I'm not sure if anybody's used that before. Can everybody see my screen? Yeah, okay. So you should see a website, menti.com, or a QR code. Feel free, if you want to participate in the trivia, to join with the code at the Menti website, or I think that the QR code should take you right there. So I want to give everybody a minute or two to connect before we get into our first question. I'm seeing a lot of people joining. Ayana, how many people do we have on the call here? I just want to check my numbers.
So let me give you that.
Looks like there's 75 right now.
75, yeah.
Okay, great. Wait till the numbers slow down. All right, I think I'll just get started, and whoever else joins can just, there's no scores or competition here. We're just having fun. All right, so the first question, which of the following could be eligible for patent protection? And you should be able to answer this question on your app. And then also I will let you know that there's, I forgot to mention this, that some of the questions can have multiple correct answers. So feel free to select multiple. So we have the name Coca-Cola, the design of the Coca-Cola logo, the design of the Coca-Cola bottle, or the process for making Coca-Cola. All right, a lot of people for the bottom two. All right. I think Okay, I think that's it. The answers have slowed down. So the correct answer is the design of the Coca-Cola bottle and the process for making Coca-Cola. So we can see here in this fun little graphic that, like I said, the design of the Coca-Cola bottle and so that could be covered by a registered design patent, or the process of making it itself could be covered by a patent. The logo and the design of the logo could be covered by trademark or copyright protection. So good job, group. I think most of us got that one right. All right, the next question here. What year was the U.S. Patent Office established? We have 1887, 1790, oh, and they all went away. So you all can see them, 1776 or 1902. And while everyone's answers are coming in, just to give you some info, this is the Blodgett's Hotel, which never actually functioned as a hotel, but became the headquarters of the Patent Office and the General Post Office in 1810. So that's where the post office or the Patent Office used to be based out of. All right. I think we got a few more responses coming in. 1790 looks to be the top answer. All right. And that is correct, 1790. All right, next question. What year did the first Black person receive a US patent? Let's see how many people get this one right. Remember, the Patent Office was established in 1790. Okay, we're getting a lot of answers for 1887 and 1930. I think that's about everybody. The correct answer is 1821. So I think that's about 31 years after the US Patent Office was established. The first Black person to receive a US patent was Thomas Jennings, who you can see pictured here. And he received a patent for dry scouring, which is a method of cleaning clothes that preceded modern day dry cleaning. So something that kind of influenced something we still use today. All right, next question. What year did the first Black woman receive a US patent? I got 1821, 1900, 1945, 1868. All right, 1868 is the top answer. Just wait a few more seconds. All right, I think the numbers have slowed down. The correct answer is 1868. Everybody, most people got it. So the first Black woman to receive a US patent was Martha Jones, which was 47 years after Thomas Jennings received his patent. Her patent covered a machine for husking, shelling, and cutting up corn husks and separating them from the grain. So pretty interesting invention here. All right, last two questions here. Do we still have time for two questions, Ayana? I'm to take that as a yes. All right, which invention was given a patent by the USPTO? We have edible business cards, a one-person seesaw, sled pants, or electrified tablecloth. And as a reminder, there could be multiple correct answers here. All right, numbers are still coming in. Pretty even spread between the last three. All right, I think we're ready to see the answers. The correct answer is all of them were given a patent by the US Patent Office. So that was an easy one. You see on the top left, we have the edible business card made out of chocolate. And we have our picture of our electrified tablecloth. Does anyone have an idea of what the purpose of an electrified tablecloth is? No, it's
Keep the food warm.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good option. No, it's actually to prevent insects from crawling on the tablecloth. We also have our one-person seesaw, which actually was qualified under exercise equipment. So that could be kind of fun. And sled pants, I think, are pretty self-explanatory. Pants that you wear that you can sled down a hill. All right, last question here. Which celebrities are patent holders? We got Prince, Kim Kardashian, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Oprah Winfrey and Paula Abdul. All right, a lot of votes for Prince. All right, I think we've got everybody's votes in. The correct answer is Prince, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Paula Abdul. So it looks like Jamie Lee Curtis was the underdog in our in our group. So Prince actually got a design patent for his portable keyboard instrument, the keytar. Jamie Lee Curtis has a patent for a disposable diaper that has a waterproof pocket that holds baby wipes. And Paula Abdul, actually, you can see what she has a patent for in this picture. I'll make it a little bigger for everybody. It's for a mic stand that has a rounded base, so she can stand on top of it while she's singing and move around without falling over. So unfortunately, Kim Kardashian and Oprah do not have a patent as of yet, but I'm sure we'll see that soon. So yeah, thanks everybody for participating. And I think we're ready. Turn it back over to Ayana for the next portion.
Thanks, Audrey. That was really great. And at this point, now that the ice has been broken, I'd like to welcome Richard Watkins to welcome everyone. He is the Senior Principal Legal Counsel at Medtronic, and he's also a member of the Patent Pathways Advisory Board. Before he has practiced IP law for over 20 years before joining Medtronic's global operations and supply chain legal organization, specializing in technology and data analytics. Richard chooses to support Patent Pathways because he loves working with people trying to diversify the legal profession, especially in intellectual property.
Ayana, thank you so very much, and good evening to everyone. Thank you for the introduction. There's not much more I can add to that piece. I will just say that the profession has gotten so much more diverse even since I first started all those couple of decades ago. But I am honored to be here to welcome you all to the Patent Pathways 2023 opening session. Tonight, we are gathered here to discuss an important topic that is close to my heart, as Ayana said, diversity and inclusion. Those of us in the legal profession, we have a unique responsibility to ensure that our profession is inclusive and welcoming to those looking to join our ranks. We must strive without ceasing to create an environment where everyone feels valued and respected, regardless of their race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, or any other characteristic. Diversity and inclusion are essential components of a successful business or successful law practice. The evidence is legion by now that diverse teams are more innovative, creative, and effective than homogeneous ones. When I first started practicing, such evidence wasn't there just yet, even though we knew it intuitively. Embracing diversity and inclusion will improve our business or law practices and our society writ large. So if you're here tonight, you have accepted the challenge to contribute to a more diverse and inclusive legal profession. With Patent Pathways, it's the challenge of mentoring budding IP practitioners from underrepresented groups and supporting diversity initiatives within your firm or organization. And I believe in all instances, we should also accept the challenge of being more mindful of our own biases and assumptions. Every action counts. Thank you for being here tonight, and I look forward to a wonderful cohort this year.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you so much. And now we'd like to turn it over to John Harity. So John is one of the founding partners of Harity & Harity, and he's been in the patent field for over 25 years, starting with his time as a patent examiner at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. John is the driving force behind Harity's industry-leading diversity, charity, and automation efforts. And he's going to speak to us about the why of Patent Pathways.
Thanks, Ayana. Patent Pathways, class of 2023. I want to congratulate you on taking the first step towards what I consider to be the greatest profession on this planet. I do want to warn you, though, that this journey is not going to be an easy journey. The patent bar is a test that you're going to need to take, and it is a difficult exam with a pass rate annually around 40%. I do hope, though, that someday in the future, you'll look back on tonight as you're taking this first step towards entering this profession and look at it as one of the best nights of your life. As difficult as this journey is going to be, you are absolutely not in this alone. Just tonight, if you hit the participant button and take a look at the quantity of people that are here, some of our volunteers are here. There's probably another 40 to 70 that weren't able to make it tonight. So there's a large number of people that are here with you on this journey, to walk with you on this difficult journey, to lift you up during those times where you need to be lifted up, and to cheer you on during those times where it's appropriate to cheer you on. So as difficult as this is going to be, I hope you're excited about the days ahead and know that you are not in this alone. Lean on us when you need to lean on us. So let me turn now to what Ayana has asked me to speak about, and that's why we created Patent Pathways. We all know about times when something good has come from a bad situation. Patent Pathways is an example of that. So let me tell you about the bad situation. On May 2nd, 2016, I was playing in my regular Monday night basketball game. We're minutes away from wrapping up. I start getting some unusual shortness of breath. When I slowed down on the court that night, my breathing issues didn't stop. And as I was leaving the gym to go outside and get some cold air, I knew there was something off. Had zero idea what was going wrong, but I knew there was something wrong. I asked my friends to call 911, and I immediately hit the floor. And I woke up 3 weeks later in a bed at the local hospital. So that night on the basketball court, I had the worst type of heart attack that you could have, the widowmaker. And if you've never been affected by heart disease before, I think the name tells you that the odds of surviving having that heart attack aren't very high. Luckily that night, my friends James Bennon, Rocky Burnson were brave enough to act, and within seconds of me hitting the floor, they had called 911 and were performing CPR. And that kept me alive until the paramedics arrived. When I got to the hospital, things got a lot worse for me. They gave me a blood thinner, which is typical for heart attacks. I experienced bleeding into my lungs, which sent me into respiratory distress. And I ended up having multiple organ failure. The doctors and the cardiologists put the odds of me making it through the first couple of days at 1,000,000 to 1. My wife was told several times, he's not going to make it. Whoever you think wants to see him before he passes needs to get here immediately. And luckily, my body over those first few days started to heal. When I woke up 3 weeks after telling the guys to call 911, for the first time in my life, a patient in a hospital. I had blood clots. I had a very serious infection. I had tubes down my throat, so I couldn't speak. I was hopped up on fentanyl, so I wasn't thinking straight. And to add to my enjoyment, I was paralyzed because I hadn't moved for 3 weeks. So to say that was a difficult time for me would be a huge understatement. It was 5 weeks after I asked the guys to call 911 that I was able to speak for the first time. They gave me a speaking valve, and my identical twin brother, who's on the screen, founded Harity and Harity with me, visited me on a daily basis, and we got to have our first conversation post heart attack. And we talked first about that night and how quickly we almost lost everything. It was literally a 5-minute time period from feeling fantastic to dead on the floor. And because we can't go back in time to do anything about that, we started talking about the future. And I committed there on that bed and commit today that I've survived something that's 1,000,000 to 1 odds. I've got to walk away from that a better person than before my heart attack. And one of the things that I didn't realize at the time, and it took really years later, is that this event, I woke up a fundamentally different person than before my heart attack. So we talked about, well, what are we going to do about this? And we both committed that we were going to change the outlook of the firm to being serving others focused. And so we were going to give back, and the first thing that we were going to do is start a charity initiative. So I spent 8 weeks in intensive care, 2 weeks in rehab, ended up getting back to work part-time in the middle of September, and Paul had already worked through the details of what would end up being our Harity for Charity initiative. So we give 5% of our firm's profits to our partner charities that include the American Heart Association, Zero, the fight against prostate cancer, Innova's Children's Hospital, and No More Stolen Childhood, which is the fight against childhood sexual abuse. The thing that I'm infinitely more proud of than us giving 5% of our profits is that every single individual at my firm gives up a portion of their paycheck to one or more of these partner charities. And we would not hire someone that wouldn't make that commitment. So once we launched Harity for Charity at the beginning of 2017, my attention switched to diversity. This is an issue that has been ongoing for decades. I've been reading articles on it, maybe not a daily basis, but definitely a weekly basis for decades. We seem, the legal industry and even the patent field, which the statistics are significantly worse in the patent field, have been running in place for decades. We keep doing the same 2 things, mentoring programs and internships, and miraculously, we're expecting these things to move the needle. And if they were, they're great programs, but if they were truly impactful alone, we wouldn't be talking about diversity today because we've been doing these things for decades. So I wanted to innovate in this space, and I wanted us to do some things that had never been done when it comes to diversity. So we started by launching our women's workshop, which just happened. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details about any of these programs except for Patent Pathways. But we launched our women's workshop, which just happened a few weeks ago. We started our Harity Academy. Every program that we launch is always free to the participants because it's all about giving back. It's not about making money in anything that we do. We launched our minority firm incubator, and James Bennon, the guy that performed CPR on me, was the guy who joined the program and launched his firm 2 years ago. And then we started this program, which I consider to be our crown jewel, the Patent Pathways program. And I truly believe that this program can be scaled to actually significantly move the needle when it comes to diversity. And finally, someday in the future, if we continue down the road of this program, we won't have to talk about diversity anymore. The patent field will be diversified. Ayanna wanted me to talk a little bit about what we learned, what happened in our first class of Patent Pathways that started last year, and the lessons that we've learned and implemented for this upcoming class. So last year, we launched our first class of Patent Pathways with 20 participants. 15 of those participants were interested in employment opportunities. So far, we've placed 10 of them. We are still working and will continue to work until all 15 of the women have been placed at law firms. We made some significant changes to the program this year. One of the things that we learned from the first class is that, and something that we knew going in, but maybe underestimated, the patent bar is difficult. I mentioned that earlier, and surprise, surprise, it's difficult. And so we have now created a whole segment of the program that is dedicated to patent bar prep. We are going to significantly increase the quantity of women in this 2023 class that pass this patent bar the first go around. That is what our goal is for this, and why we're going to spend so much time on this patent bar prep boot camp. So for this new class, we decided to have 2 entry points for joining Patent Pathways over the next year. So this class is starting tonight with our opening session, and our next class will be starting in January. In addition to that, for any women who are interested in the meantime to enter in a fast track. So these are going to be the 2 regular course tracks that will last multiple months. Any women that are interested in the fast track and says, look, I don't want to wait multiple months before I get through this program and get a job, we'll have a fast track option. Those are for people who are very, very self-motivated. There will be a lot of self-learning with respect to the fast track option with us here to help you whenever needed. So there will be multiple windows open throughout the entire year, but our 2 main classes, one of them starting tonight and the other one starting in January. I know for a fact, so out of these 2 classes, we plan on having 50 women take and pass the patent bar, and if they're interested in employment opportunities, being placed at law firms for 1-year commitments to learn how to draft patent applications and interact with the patent office to convert those patent applications into patents. 50 women in a year in a field where this demographic, Black female engineers, are the least underrepresented demographic, is a significant accomplishment. And it's something that I know that we can do, especially with the quantity of volunteers that we have. So participants, thank you again for coming on this journey. You've got the heavy lifting. You're going to want this more than we want it, but we will be here to help you every step of the way. Thank you again. Lean on us when you need to. Ayana, back to you.
Thanks so much, John. Appreciate that. So at this point, we have our keynote speaker. So we have invited Vaishali Yuduppa, who's the Commissioner for Patents with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. As Commissioner for Patents, Ms. Yuduppa manages and leads the Patents Organization as its Chief Operating Officer. She oversees the agency's 10,000 patents employees, including more than 9,000 patent examiners responsible for fostering the country's innovation system by providing patent protections to inventors as stated in Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution. Throughout her career, Ms. Yuduppa has achieved a proven track record of achieving diversity issues in addressing diversity issues in the science, technology, and legal professions. She has sought to promote diversity and inclusion through pro bono work and Bar Association involvement, including serving as Honorable Committee Co-Chair of CHIPS, which is a nonprofit organization that advances and connects women in technology, law, and policy, as well as volunteering with the Girl Scouts Nation's Capital to provide young girls with their inventor patch. Additionally, she teaches basic IP topics to Washington, D.C. high schoolers through the Street Law program. Her efforts have received accolades, including the National Bar Association's 2020 Diversity in Tech and IP Law Award. She also maintains a keen interest in increasing entrepreneurship and the number of patents applied for and obtained by all inventors, including women, minorities, veterans, and those from rural and economically disadvantaged areas. Please join me in welcoming Vaishali Uzuka.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. And I'm really excited about this program. And so when I heard about it and sort of the goals of the program and how we're trying to increase the amount of women and diverse women, and especially African-American women in the field of patent law, this is something that I think is such an important initiative. So I've been in the patent law field. I started in 2000. And starting out in my first law firm, I was the only woman that came in that office, for that matter. So just the only woman in the office in the starting class of my, the first year associates. And then moving on to my second firm, which was Jones Day, similarly in the office, and many times, I would be the only woman, minority woman for that matter. And so it was just, it was always a challenge, like kind of being the other. And to see that we've made so much progress, and that was 20 some years ago, but I will tell you, there is so much more we need to do, because I think so often we don't tap into the amazing talents out there of women and diverse women, and unleashing all the wonderful things that they can do. So when I talk about so let me take a step back. So currently I am the Commissioner for Patents. So I have been in this role for five months almost, in a couple of days. And similarly, I'm the first woman of color in this role ever. And what the role does is it plays an important part in what patents are granted. And so we have 10,000 patent examiners we have 8,500 patent examiners and other individuals that help make sure that our patent system works so that people can innovate, they can come to us and they can get a patent. And when you think about the innovation ecosystem, there are so many different players. So you have the innovators and the people that are in making the inventions, the ones that are coming up with the ideas. And you think about the investors. And then you have to think about also the attorneys who help attain these patents. And in each of these areas, we see a lack of women, and more importantly, a lack of diverse women in these roles. But that shouldn't be the case. And so what do we see? Let's look at the numbers. So women make up 51% of the total population, but only 35% of those women are employed in STEM occupations. And women account for, when they're graduating, let's just say from engineering schools, they account for 24% of the bachelor's degrees, 27% of the master's degrees, and 25% of the doctoral degrees. But then when you get into the workforce, they account for only 16% of the engineers working in STEM jobs. And this was in 2020. But there's a huge opportunity for women to be working in the innovation intensive, US industries. And so the industries, these types of industries that are very innovation intensive, and there's a lot going on in those, they account for $7.8 trillion of the United States GDP. And so we need to make sure that we can get women into these roles, diverse women into these areas. And then when we think about the investments that we have in women, let's talk about VC investments. We have 1.9% out of the $200 billion that was VC money that was invested last year. Just 1.9% was invested in women. I'm not talking about diverse women, just women in general, only 1.9%. And this was a drop from the year before. It was 2.4% from the previous year. But if you look at the data, and you look at companies that were invested in that had at least one woman as their sort of the founders or things like that. If you look at these companies, they outperformed 63% of the time the companies that were being run by all men. So when you give us the opportunities, we do amazing things. And so this is a question about getting the opportunities. And then when you think about our IP ecosystem or just our innovation ecosystem, you also think about this, who are the people helping people get their innovations, helping make sure that their companies launch, things like that. And these are the lawyers, the people like you, the people that are trying to become patent agents and patent attorneys. You guys are the ones that will make sure you will hold the hands, you will help them bring their innovation to market, to life. And so that's why these programs like this are so important, because it's giving people that might not have had the access, that might not have had the opportunities, the skills that they need to get you to the places that you want to go, you deserve to go, and ultimately to make the impact that you can. And so I think this program, like, our innovation economy depends on women like you with an array of skill sets. And so this is the stuff that they'll be working on. You'll be getting public speaking training, becoming more business savvy, all the different skills that you need. And you'll have mentors and you'll have people who will help you. And then more importantly, the legal skills, the things that you need to help you get to your patent bar. So I'm really excited about the opportunities that are coming out of this program, because I think that there's just so much that could be done, and the potential is there. And I'm really just glad that there's a network of people willing to help and willing to help you reach your potential that you want to be able to reach. So with that, I'm just glad I could be a part of this, and I really want to say thank you very much. And I'm excited to see the wonderful things that you all will do through this program.
Thank you, Michelle. We definitely appreciate your words, and we definitely are excited that you were able to participate. At this point, I would like to invite some of our 2022 participants to speak about their experience with the Patent Pathways program. And I would firstly like to invite Ashley Marie. So Ashley Marie earned a Bachelor's of Sciences in Biomedical Science, and she also has a Master's in Public Health and a law degree with a concentration in intellectual property law. As a first-generation law student, Ashley was looking for more opportunities with hands-on training, mentorship, and interactive learning to enhance her knowledge and skills. And she found that with Patent Pathways. In July, she will begin as a patent examiner for the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Ashley?
Hi, everybody. I'm super excited to be like one of the people to tell and share their experiences about Patent Pathways and really why I chose it and how everything is going and just thoughts in general. So I'll kick it off with why I chose Patent Pathways. Like Ayana just said, I was really looking for support. I'm a first-generation law student. I am African-American. And so I was really just looking for like, what am I doing? What is happening? What's going on? I need some support. I don't even know what kind of support I need yet, but I know I need it. And so I was just looking for people, places, and I got connected with with Sylvia Chin, who actually is good friends with, I think, both of the Herities or one of them. And she was telling me about Harity and Harity and how they had diverse initiatives going on. And I thought, wow, that's super cool, because a lot of people say they're diverse, and then you go click and you looking at the roster and you're like, I don't understand what's going on here. And so I started looking into Harity and Harity. I clicked the roster, I clicked all the initiatives that they had going on, and they really, really aligned with everything that they said. They were really walking the walk, you know what I mean? And so that got me really excited. Of course, I started looking, and it was just happenstance that at the particular time, I was looking for resources. They were offering resources in the field that I was looking to get into, which was patent law. And so, of course, I jumped on the opportunity to get more information. And then me and Ayana connected, and she told me a little bit more about the program and how I could apply and all of these things. And so I got into the program. It was a whirlwind. It is a lot, just because you don't really know what you're getting into. But once you get there, you're like, okay, what next? And they really help you with that what next. They provided the support for interviews. They provided support for just patent bar prep and things like that. So I really felt supported. And then the girls that I was with, we also clicked. And so I got support from them. I got support from the program, not collaborators, but the program people. And then also I was connected with a mentor that again helped me kind of navigate like those real tricky questions that I was scared to ask other people. We developed a strong bond, and I felt really comfortable just asking, because that was really my thing. I had so many questions and I needed to get so much information. And I feel very grateful for just being a part of the program and participating, because when the patent examiner opportunity was presented by this program, they were sending job postings regularly, letting us know about opportunities, as well as supplying us with interview opportunities. But I seen the patent examiner one and I jumped on it. It was something that through our interview prep, we didn't really go through. We were interviewing for firms. So I reached out again and asked, hey, can y'all help me? I don't know how government jobs work. Help me, please. And I got help. And thank you to John and another partner with Harity and Harity. They prepped me for that interview and I did really well. I interviewed twice. And like Ayana said, I do start later this month. Actually, I said July, but it's actually June 20th. And so I'm very, very excited to start that opportunity fresh off the heels of being done with law school. I don't really have to focus on anything except for this new job in bar. And so I am very, very grateful for this program and the guidance and everything that has come from it. Yeah, that's my spiel.
Thank you, Ashley Marie. And up next, we have Ina Breen. Ina works as a patent agent at Harity and Harity and has a background in mechanical engineering.
Hi, everyone. So I just wanted to share a little bit of advice for the program because as John said, it is a challenging program, but it is so worth it. So the number one thing is to just try your best. You know, I remember getting my very first assignment from the Harity Academy and I had no clue what I was doing, but I tried my best. I turned it in and it came back completely redlined, which means I didn't do a very good job. So there really is such a steep learning curve. So don't feel discouraged. If you don't get something right away, it takes time and repetition. The important thing is that you try. And even if you do something completely wrong, it's okay. maybe even good, because you have to make those mistakes to learn from them. So try your best. My second piece of advice is to get help. I remember there was one time I didn't even know where to start with an assignment. I sat on it and I let it stress me out for weeks because I was scared to ask for help without having a starting point. But as soon as I asked, I was assured that it's okay. And I realized I could have saved myself so much stress if I had just reached out for help in the first place. I promise nobody will be upset with you or disappointed if you don't know how to do something. It's normal. Everyone struggles. So just try your best and get help. This program might be challenging, but you shouldn't feel stressed. So if you do, reach out to someone. Whether you're struggling with an assignment, you have questions about career options, or you need help prepping for an interview, there are so many people who want you to succeed, and there will be so many people along the way who offer help. So reach out to them because they really do mean it when they say they're there for you. And my last piece of advice is to trust the process. So through this program, I gained 2 amazing mentors. I had a summer internship in the IP department of a big company. I graduated college with job offers from 3 different law firms. I became a registered patent agent, and now I work for Harity & Harity. So this program has opened up so many doors for me, and I know it will for you too. So just do your best, get help when you need it, and trust the process.
And thanks a lot, Ina. And up next, we have Renetta Ellison. So Renetta currently works as a senior policy analyst at the Social Security Administrator and has done so for the past 12 years. While working as a policy analyst full-time, she attended law school in the evening. And during law school, she took a pharmaceutical patent and a food drug law course, which reignited her desire to integrate science back into her career and exposed her to patent law. So in her quest to start a career in patent law, Renetta learned about patent pathways and applied to the program and was selected. She chose to participate in patent pathways because it offered her a comprehensive opportunity to learn about the patent field, gain practical and technical experience, and increase her marketability for employment. Renetta?
Thank you, Ayana, and good evening, everyone. As the third participant to speak, I am going to reiterate everything that has been said. First and foremost, it is a wonderful program, and if you have not cleared your schedule, clear your schedule, offload all kind of distractions and extraneous things that you have on your plate, because it is a lot of work. It's a serious investment of time. Be committed to the process, because as Ina just beautifully communicated, that it is so worthwhile. It opens up so many doors. You're connected to so many people, but you need to be present. And I was not always present because I was distracted with other things, with work that comes up. And sometimes you do fall behind. And I too was afraid to ask for help because it feels like, oh, I'm going to fail out of the program. They've invested so much in me, and, I can't just, mess up. But that's exactly what investing in you means. And this program has definitely, showed me that. I've needed grace several times with my schedule and timing. People reach back out to you, they follow up with you. I mean, just the entire team that they have, not just the people who mentor you, not just the people who teach your courses, but just everybody that's a part of this Patent Pathways network. They truly believe in you and will support you. So don't stress yourself out, ask for help. And I'm still learning that as well. But I guess the biggest thing that I can say is just seize the opportunity and be present, but don't feel like you have to do it a certain way. That's something that I've learned even through the job interviewing process. if there's something that you need tailored for you, the program would do their best to tailor it for you. Consider, other alternate sources of employment or ways to gain experience. And so I don't even know how to describe the program any more than just an amazing opportunity. And it's very valuable. I don't even know where you can script and pay for something as wonderful as this. And so just seize it. I know I sound like a broken record, but I just don't know how to convey it anymore, because it's just that valuable to me. And just the support that I've received, the professional development that I've received. I mean, you have mock interviews, you have actual interviews, and from each of those interviews, you grow. Even if you aren't placed in a job, look at the positives of it. I was one of the people who did not receive an offer. Well, I received one offer, but that job didn't pan out. But I had a series of 5 interviews, but I'm still grateful for all 5 of those interviews because I grew from each of them. So even things that may not work out to your advantage is still an opportunity that you should seize and just look for just the growth in everything. Even with networking, that was not a strong skill for me. But I have looked at how I've grown in networking just from the connections I've had through the different workshops that you have, and you reach out to people, they talk to you, they give you insight. So just every opportunity that's just presented, please take advantage of it and know that people are going to support you. So you don't have to have, meltdowns, but be ready to be committed and work hard. So please clear your schedules, get rid of distractions, and you will appreciate it a year later.
Thanks so much, Renetta. And we are continuing to look for opportunities for Renetta. Her background is in biology and public health, like I said. So definitely, looking for opportunities for her. So at this point, I would like for us, we've been going for a while, so I'd like to propose that we have like a 5-minute break so we can come back and get started at 7:28, and then we'll go into a little bit more of the orientation side of this evening's activity. Thank you. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. So now we get the opportunity to jump into the a little bit more of the nuts and bolts of the program. And at this point, I would like to invite Ryan Phelan to talk about the participant expectations. Ryan is a partner here at Harity & Harity, and he's a patent attorney with a background in electrical engineering. He understands the benefits of guidance and mentorship because he transitioned from a career in engineering into the patent field through the support of others in the field who were willing to share their time and their experiences. Ryan chose to support the Patent Pathways program to pay forward the kindness of others in a way that can bring about meaningful change in diversity and inclusion in the patent field.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Ayana, and welcome everyone to the kickoff of the program. So we've already had many amazing and probably much more eloquent speakers than myself already give their thoughts. I'm going to keep this somewhat short. We're very excited to have you join this very important program and to take on the role of improving diversity in a field that really needs it. We have many amazing mentors and facilitators that are very excited and eager to share their experience and to guide you on the path to successful entry into the field. They're going to share their time and effort with you, and they really need you to give the same in return in order for this program to be successful. John Harity and a few of the other participants from last year have already mentioned that the Patent Office exam it's a difficult test. It requires commitment and it needs to be taken seriously. The best thing that you can do is commit to attending and participating in the virtual sessions, completing the self-study work, and commit to entering the field and making a difference. Because we know that if you do, this cohort can definitely achieve a 100% success rate. If you have any issues with the virtual sessions or materials or the assignments or anything, just please let the mentors or the facilitators know, because communication is key to the success of the program. We're here to make sure that your experience in this program is productive and successful. And thank you again for committing to the program. And we're all excited to see you succeed. Thank you, and back to you, Ayana.
And thanks a lot, Ryan. Yes, I totally agree. We are excited and we're here for you to see you succeed. So at this point, I invite Maeve Carpenter to speak on mentorship and what you should expect from mentorship. So Maeve is the counsel IP law at IBM. She manages a large group of patent professionals involved in a variety of patent procurement work and is a case manager for U.S. patent procurement operations in several technology areas. Ms. Carpenter is registered to practice before the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office and is a member of both the New York State and the Massachusetts Bar. She is excited about Patent Pathways she's excited about participating with Patent Pathways to try to make a difference in the lives of others and to support Patent Pathways in making an impact on DEI in the patent field.
Thank you, Ayana. So I am presenting here as co-lead of the mentorship committee. And in this short introduction, I just wanted to provide you with some information about what mentorship in Patent Pathways looks like. So for 6 months, the length of the program, typical, you will have 2 mentors available to you with a once weekly meeting. The mentors will trade off on that. Your mentors are in your corner and lean on them. Your mentors will celebrate your successes and support you in your challenges. Remember that your mentors have been through the process of studying for and taking the patent bar and searching for and obtaining employment in the field. We know it's difficult. We know the challenges, and we can share our varied experiences with you. And as some of last year's participants have said, ask for help. Do not hesitate to reach out to your mentors with any questions. Next, your mentors provide a safe, confidential space for discussing your progress through the program, any assignments or concerns. Your mentors, along with others involved in Patent Pathways, want to see you succeed and will be there along your journey. And finally, for right now, if at any point you have feedback to provide regarding your mentors, please feel free to reach out to the mentoring committee co-leads, who are myself and Steve Contos with Harity, or your facilitators or any contacts. And if we have anything to communicate to the participant group, we will work that out through the training portion of the program. I hope that you all feel supported through this program, and I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you. And back to you, Ayana.
Thanks a lot, Maeve. So now we're going to get into the actual session. So as Ina and a few others mentioned, there's several aspects to the program. So one of the aspects, of course, is patent bar exam preparation. Another is career readiness, and another is skills training, writing coaching, as well as we provide like mental well-being sessions, as well as financial strategies, a financial strategy session. So at this point, I'm going to invite Mark Dighton, who is the Administrative Director of the Practicing Law Institute's Patent Office Exam course, to speak to us about patent, the PLI and the patent bar preparation software. He's been in that position for more than 20 years and has helped shepherd close to 20,000 people to passing the patent office exam. 75 to 80% of every pass list for the patent office exam is composed of people who took the PLI course. So participants in Patent Pathways are being provided the course at no cost, in part thanks to the generosity of PLI, and also in part thanks to the generosity of the program sponsors of Patent Pathways, including Qualcomm, Stanley Black & Decker, and several law firms. Mark? I think I just had to admit him. Okay, he's connecting right now. Hi, Mark. I know you just joined, but I just introduced you. Your go. Okay, I see him. Oh, we can't hear you, Mark. No. Okay. Well, maybe while you figure that out, we'll jump to Julie Seitz. Julie is the founder of Seitz Effective Tutoring and Coaching, and Julie provides writing coaching for the program. She's a writing coach for Harity & Harity and facilitates the improvement of attorneys' writing skills, particularly in patent application drafting. She has an interest in diversity, equity, and inclusion policies and programs, and as the writing coach for Harity & Harity's Patent Pathways program. Julie?
Thank you, Ayana. Good evening, everybody. And it is so exciting to be here and let you know that one of the components of the Patent Pathways program is you will have a 3-hour writing workshop with me, and we will go over how to draft quality patent applications. But the most important component is after that, you can schedule a one-on-one writing coaching session with me. And I'm always the safe place. And there is a lot of work in the program. And so some of the participants feel overwhelmed and they don't go on to the one-on-one, but the ones that do, they really, they succeed far above their peer counterparts. So I just want you to have that take-home message tonight that make sure you schedule the one-on-one, because even with the Harity for Parity that I work with, the students, as well as in the Patent Pathways program, the individualized coaching that you would get with me is going to really, really help you succeed in learning how to draft quality patent applications, where I can highlight your strengths and your weaknesses and really target some specific goals for you. But the 3-hour workshop is also going to benefit you because in there, we will go over all of the skills and the training that you need to set you up with a good foundation. So I look forward to seeing all of you at that workshop. Thank you, Ayana.
Thanks a lot, Julie. So next, I will ask Maria Stanfield to present. So Maria is the founding president at Maria Stanfield and Company, and she recently resigned from her 30-plus-year senior level law firm career to pursue her purpose and calling as an executive coach. Her company, Maria Stanfield and Company, equips clients with legacy leadership tools to impact, influence, and thrive in their career, business, and life. She shared that her heart, soul, and professional purpose aligns with Patent Pathways' mission to diversify the complexion of the patent law field and facilitate the advancement of African American women within the profession.
Thank
Maria?
you. Well, as Ayana said, I quit the law firm field to live in my purpose and passion. So I went from career to calling. I started in the law firm industry when there was no attorney of color. There was no empowerment around, the whole diversity and inclusion. There was no talk about that. And I started as a receptionist and worked my way to the corner office running a multi-million-dollar law firm. And then I left because I saw what John just described so beautifully is with all of the programs that were happening, the needle never moved. There wasn't enough movement. And so when I was contacted to invite me to join as part of the training for professional development, career readiness, and training and network, all of those areas that I teach on, I actually empower. I give you the mental stamina and power to empower you to push past all the things that were described earlier. You need someone cheering you along and also getting in your head, because sometimes we get into our own head, which is what I did for so long. And my law firm career was incredible. I've learned so much. But it's at some point we get full and there's an opportunity for us to pour into others. And so I am a byproduct. I'm a product of programs like this Pathways. This is, I want to establish this in a way that really impacts and makes and moves that needle, shifts the culture and the workforce so that we see more people of color in the IP field. I work with Pillsbury with Rosa Walker, who I believe you'll hear from today as well. And I'm so honored to support this mission, this focus. As I said, it really aligns with my purpose and calling. I count it an honor to work with all of you and to have the opportunity to really take a deeper dive into how we make this really an impactful program beyond just what I love about what John and I follow both of you, Paul and John, on LinkedIn all the time and see you out there. So they really don't just talk about it, they be about it. That's not proper English, but that's what you see. And as a legacy leader in last year, the first program, I saw the shift in many, I heard the pain, we pushed through to get them through that. And so I'm really excited to work with all of you and encourage you not to sit on this program, but to really dive in on the deep side. Thank you so much, Ayana.
Thanks a lot, Maria. And now I would like to turn it over to Stuart Hirsch. So Stuart is the Managing Director at Strategic Relationships. He's a former firm and in-house lawyer who has been coaching lawyers since 1994. He has worked with many patent and IP attorneys. All his work includes building trust-based relationships. His work with lawyers includes navigating implicit gender and racial bias, and he's done programs on pitching to diverse clients and finding allies, mentors, and sponsors. Patent Pathways is important to him because it is another opportunity to give back and help others succeed.
Thank you so much, Anna. I'm so delighted to be here, and I'm even more excited about this than when I was first asked to participate. This is my first year and first program doing this, and what I was asked to do is talk about being a trusted advisor. So wherever you end up in this program, or after this program, think about how important is it to have the trust of the people that you work with and that you live with. Have you ever wondered how some people can build trusting relationships and others find it difficult? And what is it that make people trust each other? So what if there was a formula for building trust people and you could dissect and follow that formula? Well, that's what we're going to do. I was the executive and business development coach for the co-author of the book, The Trusted Advisor. And based on that book and articles and lots of material that will be available on their website, we're going to discuss that formula and how you can build trust. And so I have a little homework already for you to do before we start. So between now and I love that look, Nina, thank you. Between now and the time of our session, think about someone that you trust your secrets to, the things that are really important to you, and write them down on paper, on your computer, or put them in your head if you have a really good memory. All of the characteristics of that person that make you trust them. And that's what we're going to be discussing. And I've so enjoyed working with people I've worked with in the patent field. And it'll be a real pleasure to work with you all and to help you to learn to develop trust. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Stuart. And then in terms of the financial side, we do have Joy Fistrunk. She's a principal at Premier Group Services. And she's with us for the second year. She's a certified public accounting and management owner of a firm. And she has over 20 years accounting experience. And she's earned a reputation for offering a practical approach to accounting. Joy's passion for serving others, including time served in the United States Air Force Reserve, translates to her company's principles. Premier Group Services values the opportunity and importance of supporting its community and participates in various community-based events and services. Joy? Okay, so she was on here. I did see her. Okay, so maybe I will circle back on Joy, and then we can try Mark again.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
fantastic.
Apparently my headphones have a microphone built into them, but that microphone doesn't work. So when I plugged in the headphones, the microphone went out. So welcome everybody. My name is Mark Diner. I don't remember what I sent Anna to say. So I'll start at the beginning if you don't mind too much. My name is Mark Dighton. I'm the administrative director of PLI's Patent Office Exam course, sometimes called our Patent Bar Review course. PLI had, at least as far as we know, the first patent bar review starting back in the 1960s. I've been running the course now for 20 plus years. We're basically kind of the only really serious, reputable course left in the building. When I started, there were two others that were fairly highly regarded, but they've fallen by the wayside. We're kind of the only game left in town. The course is expensive, but you folks don't have to worry about that because Patent Pathways is signing you all up. Some of you have been signed up, some of you will be signed up soon. And I'm here just to give a little kind of pep talk. I've been running, courses for high stakes exams for now pretty much 40 years, probably before most of you were born. The regular state bar exams before I came to run the patent bar review for PLI more than 20 years ago. PLI at this point is really the only serious course left in standing. We have about 75 to 80% of every pass list is people who took the PLI course. Everything you need is in this course. But the trouble is you really have to take it seriously. I usually have to tell people the course is very expensive, but it's worth it. You don't have to worry about the expensive part, but I'll say it's very demanding, but it's worth it. You really need to do the course as assigned. We've got about 1,200, 1,300 people a year taking the course, got an 85 to 90% pass rate. You do the math on that. I see people who fail all the time, but they are 201 people who didn't do what we told them. If you really take the course seriously, really read all the written materials as they're assigned in the course, do all the lectures, review all the lectures as they're assigned in the course, and do all the practice questions, it should take you pretty smoothly through to passing the exam. But we really kind of recommend you try to concentrate it to some degree. It's about 150 to 200 hours total preparation time over ideally 2 to 3 months, something like that. A little bit longer than that, then you might have to spend some more hours because you're going to forget some stuff in the process. But if you really apply yourself, do the course as assigned, do the practice exams as soon as possible under real exam conditions, and to spend as much time reviewing the answers to those questions in those exams as you spent actually doing the exam, you should hopefully see your scores start to rise slowly but surely. Your scores at the beginning will be terrible, but don't worry about that. The only score that counts is the score at the end. You only have to get a 70% on this exam in order to pass it. So it's really kind of 2 out of every 3 questions you have to get right to pass the thing, which that sounds easy, right? Somehow it's not. The official pass rate in the exam is below 50%. Has been slowly climbing back up to 50% for years. We keep thinking next year we're going to be back up to 50%, and then next year we're still at 47%. That's the official pass rate. Our pass rate is double that. And like I said, when people aren't successful, I go and look at what they did in the course. They've done all different kinds of things, not what we told them to do. The one thing that pretty much everyone who passes has in common is they did the course as assigned and took it seriously. If you do the course as assigned and take it seriously, I won't say you'll have no trouble passing the exam on the first time. This is a difficult exam, but you should pass the first time. I think that's any questions. I'm certainly available for that.
Thanks, Mark. So we'll leave Q&A to after. We have a couple more speakers. We have Nathan Brunlock. He is a patent agent here at Harity, and he holds a PhD in physics and has experience drafting and prosecuting patents in various technologies. Nathan is passionate about the Patent Pathways program because it brings together a range of perspectives and experiences, fostering innovation and equality in the patent field.
Yeah, thank you, Ayana, and thank you, Mark. So my role with Patent Pathways is to help facilitate what we're referring to as the patent bar bootcamp sessions. So we've worked with Mark to supplement to support the PLI program by holding these bootcamp sessions where we can meet and discuss sort of as a study group to go over tips. We have kind of running the gamut from people who have recently passed the patent bar exam, and so they'll be able to provide feedback on what worked for them. And we have we have people who took the patent bar many years ago, but have a lot of, and therefore have a lot of experience in the patent field in strategies for addressing the scenarios that are presented in those test questions. So we highly encourage you to, as Mark said, take the patent bar course, take it seriously, and we, along with your mentors, will be here to provide additional support, be a resource for questions. So we look forward to working with you. And the we I'm referring to, the leads with me are Nelson Nolte and Lolita Darden, and we have a large committee that are here for that support.
Thanks a lot, Nathan. So as you can see, it takes a lot of people to, successfully execute this program with the level of excellence that we are seeking to accomplish. So we have one more video I need to share Rosa Walker. She does the career readiness. So she's in charge of the career readiness and she co-leads the program sessions committee along with me. So I am going to share my screen so that you can see her video. And I need to share audio. Okay, I did share audio. Good for me. Okay, is her video visible? All right.
I am honored to welcome you to the Patent Pathways program. I am sorry I could not join you and the other program facilitators this evening. As participants of this amazing program, you have decided to apply your educational and professional experience to a career in patents and in a legal environment. The legal industry has many quirks, challenges, advantages, and a unique personality. I have over 30 years of administration and human resources experience within law firms and currently hold the position of Senior Director of Diversity and Inclusion for Pillsbury Winthrop Shaw Pittman, a global law firm. I am eager to share my experiences with you as a woman of color and as a law firm lifer. I am responsible for the career readiness module of your training. Together, we will discuss how to prepare for your interviews. I will answer questions and concerns about the process, including how to present yourself as the best candidate for the position. I will review what you may encounter during the offer of employment phase, explain why mentorship is such a valuable component of the program, and discuss how to utilize that relationship so you are effectively working towards your goals. You are a member of the Patent Pathways cohort because you decided to take your career in a new direction. A new position and a new industry can cause anxiety. I hope that I may ease that anxiety by answering your questions and ensuring that you are career ready. I am looking forward to interacting with you. Welcome to Patent Pathways.
All right. So that is everything that we have scheduled for today in terms of presentations. So we would like to open up to question and answer and a little bit of a conversation if anyone has any questions. If you would like to unmute, feel free to do so, or you can add your questions to the chat. I'm monitoring the chat as well.
Hello. I just want to thank all of you so much for a wonderful presentation this evening. And I'm really excited after hearing all of the talks from everyone today about the program. And I'm really looking forward on starting out on this adventure. So the question I have has to do, I guess, generally with sort of the way things are going to play out over the summer. So I received all of my materials as far as the Patent Law Institute materials and so forth. And so, I've just started the process of going through those and, trying to sort of feel my way through and get familiar with that and get started with the studying aspect. But I still don't really quite understand how the evening sessions that we're doing right now are going to fold into that. Are you just going to be like hitting highlights of the review course? Or is it going to be, because my understanding is you're going to do this career readiness and all of these other things. So how is that going to play out? I guess I just don't really understand how the two are going to intersect. If you could talk on that a little bit.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So the program is divided into kind of like 3 different sections. So we didn't want to have any overlap with, let's say, career readiness and PLI, preparing for the patent bar, or skills training. So what we've done is that we've set it into particular phases. So the first phase is patent bar prep. So all things patent bar prep happen from June to August. And then in September, we expect that participants will take the exam. So during the June to August period, you'll be doing your work with PLI, doing your practice exams, looking at the videos, and then you'll also be participating in the boot camps, which typically is going to happen like once or twice a week. So that's going to be the patent bar exam prep segment. Then after that, for those who are interested in the employment opportunities, then we start the career readiness. And the career readiness sessions, that's in October. And then the actual employment matching happens in October through November. After that, we offer skills training via video courses, and we also have Parity Academy courses where you can learn patent preparation and patent prosecution training. So it's basically 3 kind of separate time buckets where we have the work laid out. Does that help?
A little. I think I'm still trying, I guess I'm just trying to figure out, like, as far as for specifically this phase of the program. So we have our evening sessions, like, from what I understand, twice a week. And then we have like all of our materials. And so are we going to be like maybe hitting the highlights of the patent bar review materials during these sessions, like when we're together?
Oh, yeah.
And is that how that, like, if we're going through the materials on our own, and is the situation that if we have questions on that, then we should bring it to this session? Is that how that's going to work, or how we're going to be using this particular time we have when we're together? But no, I really did appreciate your explanation of everything else too. That was fine.
No problem. Yeah. So for this segment, the boot camp sessions are basically where we give you the opportunity we'll tell you which exam ahead of time. So we tell you to prepare mini exam such and such from the PLI course material. Then on that bootcamp session, what the instructors will do is that they will take a look at everyone's responses, everyone's reports. It's called like their question report that you can get from the PLI software. And then the instructors will take a look at the questions that most people have gotten incorrect. And then during that session, they will actually go through each of those questions and provide strategy, provide tips, provide insights on how to search the MPEP. And so those bootcamp sessions are specifically for review of the mini exam question report.
So those evening sessions aren't a substitute for what you'll have to do in the course. They're a supplement. And you should always feel free. Part of, the PLI deal is, as you're watching lectures, as you're doing questions, you have an ask a question icon that opens up a form that tells us all we need to know, as far as if you look at a question, you have a question about a question, it copies the question into the form. If you're looking at a video, it tells us what video you're looking at and basically what time. So hopefully that'll help us figure out the context. You can always ask us any substantive questions, but then I think it's good with the group for everybody to sit and see that the same substantive points are causing friction for people. It's a good place to talk about study habits, to kind of compare notes on your performance on the exams. I'll tell you one of the first things the major transition in my professional career is when I first started doing this. We were doing, live courses all across the country. 90% of the people came to those live courses, and 10% were doing it on, yes, I'm that old, VHS tapes and audio cassettes and things like that. And once it became an online thing, we began to realize that people sometimes were very discouraged at the outset because they weren't getting good scores on the exams. We found in a live setting that people then, turned to each other and said, well, gee, I really blew that exam. I don't know if I'm up to this. And the person next to them would say, oh, yeah, well, I got the same score you did, or maybe even I did worse. So a lot of times sitting in with that group of people who are all going through this very demanding process at the same time can be a great way for you to feel like, okay, yes, this is hard. I'm getting it slowly. Talking to others is helping me understand it better. And those two things can really work beautifully together, as long as you go into it with that right understanding that this is not a substitute. You still need to do the course as assigned, and you've got these evening webinars to help kind of the glue to make it all stick together.
Thank you. That helps.
Okay, great. Any other questions?
I don't have a question. I'll just add to what Mike said. I wrote in the chat that I actually took the PLI course, and I was in a similar program. There was a patent law program that Notre Dame had, and so we took courses. But then on Saturdays, what we would all do is get together in a study room, and we would just sit in front of our computers and do like a mock exam where we were timing ourselves. And so we would do the 4 hours break, 4 hours for the practice exam. So we kind of mimic the real environment that you're going to have when you're taking the patent bar. And we would just do that together on Saturdays. And I know there was a question about being in the same region together. So I don't know if, based on where everyone is in the region, if you guys can just do it on a Zoom. But if you are kind of as best as you can mimicking the environment that you're going to be in when you are taking the exam, it kind of takes that pressure away.
So Carisha, you did the Notre Dame Masters in Patent Law program that Karen Deek used to run?
I did.
Lucky you, lucky you. She's just terrific. I just talked to her the other day. She's in Europe now, but I'm trying to get her back.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Carisha. And I did just share the schedule with everyone yesterday. So if anyone has any questions on the schedule, when we meet on Thursday, we can definitely discuss that further. Any additional questions or feedback or comments?
I posted a question for you.
Okay. Oh, okay. If they have to travel during this program, can they access the PLI course while outside of the United States? So that's a Mark question.
Sure, it's online. So anywhere you have internet access, you have the course available to you. We have plenty of people taking the course overseas, people in Germany, Singapore. And so far, I haven't heard any reports of problems unless people are, out in the countryside where I'm sure it will be beautiful, but you got to make sure you got good internet access.
Great, thank you. I don't see any other questions in the chat. There's one message. How do we access the Google Classroom? Is there an access code currently available? Yeah, so I'll be sharing the Google Classroom information before our meeting on Thursday.
Hey, Anna, did you address Faye Golden's comment there? And it's posted at 7:57.
Faye Golden. Is it possible to get connected to other programs? Yes, yes. Oh, I replied to her directly. Yes, we can definitely work on that. So that would be something that we can do on Thursday and have that discussion, because Thursday is more of just the participants getting to know one another. So we can definitely have that discussion on Thursday. Ebony wants to know, will lessons be recorded? Yes, they will be. Someone was saying?
Yes, I had one other question. I noticed that you had different career coaches and conversations about people being engineers versus life sciences. And I was just wondering, of the law firms that have been identified that are going to be interviewing in September and October, how many of those, or ballpark, are looking for individuals with a background in the biological sciences as opposed to, say, engineering?
Okay, so that's a great question. And I want to officially introduce Elaine because I was leaving her for the very end to close us out. So she is a partner at Harity & Harity and has a degree in mechanical engineering. And she's the first female partner at Harity. She co-chairs Harity's Diversity Committee and is the vice chair of the IPO Diversity and Inclusion Committee. If you follow her on LinkedIn, which I suggest you do, you know how passionate she is about diversifying the patent bar. So I will turn it over to you, Elaine.
Well, thank you so much, Ayana, and thank you everyone for being here tonight. It is so exciting to launch this second year of Patent Pathways, and I see a lot of names and people that I've met along the way, and I'm so excited that you joined the program. I've met a few of you in person and online, and again, I always have an open door policy. If you want to reach out to me and have a chat, I'm happy to chat with you about opportunities and just careers in patent law. So just as I think Ayana had mentioned earlier in the program, we had 15 participants that were looking for job opportunities last year. We were able to place 10, and there were 5 that we weren't able to place. And it tends to be more difficult in the life sciences because unfortunately there are some I don't know how this developed. It's hard from us from the engineering side because we have BS degrees in our engineering fields, a lot of us, and is that sufficient for us to practice? And we learn the tech on the job. I mean, that's what we all understand as we get into the patent practice. Our clients know the tech and they teach us, and we learn it on the job. They are the experts. In the life sciences, there's been a little bit of a pushback, and this not a requirement, but some law firms do have this focus on having a higher level degree. And so what we're trying to do, we started, as I think we had mentioned earlier, we have so many volunteers in the program. Happy to see quite a number of my employment and inclusion committee on this call, is we are trying to change that perspective in the patent community. And we are leveraging our corporate participants and volunteers to help reach out to their law firms to say, we want you to hire someone with a BS degree in biology or life science. We absolutely think that they should be able to do the job just as someone with a master's and PhD, because you learn the tech when you are on the job from your client. So this year, we are making a push to include more law firms, and that will be through our corporate members and through bringing more corporations into the Patent Pathways program. My co-lead, Rich Watkins, you heard earlier, he is my co-lead on the employment and inclusion. I have another co-lead, Shruti Kostalis, who actually has a chemical engineering background. And she now currently works for Dell. We also have some other life sciences people from corporations on our committee that will help leverage those contacts. Right now, we have 10 law firms signed on. We shifted our focus last year for the requirements to bring law firms on. So that process is not said and done. We don't have the final amount of law firms. I imagine we're going to get at least 10 to 20 more law firms between now and October, with the focus on making sure that we get as many life science law firms that practice in that area, and hoping that corporations can influence them to say, we want you to hire some from this program, and a BS degree in biology or life science should be sufficient. It's a work in progress. We do have a lot of life science participants. I've seen the list. Don't despair. We will be with you, alongside you. What we're hoping to do for our 5 participants that did not get opportunities last year is to create a matching platform that we will have your resumes open to law firms that are joining the program, and kind of as a continuous access for if new partners join and maybe you didn't get a job opportunity, they would then also have your resume available. So right now we have about 10 firms. We're expecting to have a lot more between now and October when we open up the matching platform. But again, we're alongside you, and we're going to be with you throughout the process, and hopefully get you all lined up with a job. Like for us, it doesn't do much good for you to have done all this work and pass the patent bar and not to have a job opportunity. And then once you get that job opportunity, we want you to feel included, and we want you to stay in the field, because it doesn't do good if you leave. So, I mean, that's the task of my committee, and we're working hard to make sure that we can provide those for you all. And And if it's not exactly in October, we hope that it'll be further along the road, but at least we're going to be here with you. And we hope our hope is, and our goal is that 100% of people going through this program will get a job opportunity, and we'll keep trying until that happens. That was a lot. It was one question. That was a big response.
Yeah, and I had one other question, if it's okay.
Yeah.
My other question is, as you all are building in that direction, is anyone looking at sort of the intersectionality, like for example, like tech and biosciences? Like right now, there's a woman who created a laser. It's designed to shrink cancer tumors prior to them being excised. And so even though that's physics and it's tech, if you have a background in biology, you took your chemistry, you took your physics, and so you're going to understand. Or like I'm thinking like instrumentation is another area.
Faye, those areas are prime, and sometimes what we recommend for those who have the degrees in biology to maybe if they're still in school to get some of that experience in like a background in the physical sciences, like the physics, or take on, if you're working for me, I worked for a small firm and I handled all techs. I'm like, okay, chemistry, I did take chemistry. I was good at chemistry. Let me figure this out. And we're scientists and we're engineers. We can figure this out. But if you have an opportunity to take other course loads, or even an online course to learn, some software skills or electrical skills or something, so that you can use some of that, like you said, Faye, some of that, the background that you have in biology, but you also have in physics, will be instrumental in some of these tech areas. There's definitely going to be a lot of overlap in that space. We're seeing it with some of our clients.
Thank you.
Of course.
Any other questions or comments or feedback? Okay. Well, with that said, I would like to thank everyone who came out this evening. It was a great experience, and I'm very excited for our Thursday session, where we just get to meet as, get the participants to meet one another, and we discuss the program in a little bit more detail in terms of the logistics of the program. I'd also like to thank all of our mentors, subcommittee members, committee members, program facilitators, sponsors, and most importantly, you, the participants, for showing up. And we look forward to working with you over the next several months into next few years. So thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful evening and rest of your week.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Bye.
Thank you.